All right, Will Collins, how's it going? I don't know much about you other than what you have on your profile. Sounds like you're into folk music. We've got the next Bob Dylan here. Tell us what you're all about, why people need to listen to your music.
Hi, I'm Will Collins. I don't really know. I got really into songwriting when I met these two people, Elijah and Mary, and they just like kind of got me into folk music, like the start of it at least. And I saw all these cool kinds of people, and then I learned how to finger pick and stuff. And then when they died, my lyrics got good magically, I think. And now I can just like write a decent song, you know. I'm from Madera, California, so it's like a depressing town in the middle of California. You see a lot of shit. You have a bit of friends that die, and you know, you just kind of get tired. And I figured if I'm gonna do anything with my life, I'm gonna do folk music and be a rock star or something. But I went off the deep end a little bit.
Hey, I catch your drift, man. I used to live in Detroit, so different, I don't know, Midwest, but Detroit is its own kind of pressure chamber. Yeah, that's a heavy start to the podcast here. We're gonna try and keep it like 10 minutes or so. I like having these with artists just over voice memos. We have the technology, and the accessibility and stuff of modern day wonders like the internet. So appreciate you going in depth there and not shying away from some of the demons that come with art because they're there whether or not people act like they are. Tell me what have been some high points along the way, some memorable experiences that you have nostalgia for.
I mean, you know, ultimately it's been good. I just started off like that because you know, people wonder how I write music, and a lot of it's on the bad stuff. But then it's like writing songs for me is like journaling, I guess. You know, it's kind of uh I don't know. It's good. And then when you feel that the song is good, I get like a little rush. So when I was like on the radio, that was pretty tight. When I was performing for people and then just making sad drunks at like an open mic, you know, cry, that was good. I've had a couple high points. And the proudest I've been is like when I was driven to the gigs, you know, get just a little bit high, and then boom, perform for like 3 hours, get paid 200 or whatever, and I'm like, fuck, this is awesome, and everybody thinks you're the shit, but I think that's just an effect of your brain where you think you're the shit a little bit because of the rush. It's just like chasing that. But I think that goes for everything in life. Like, if you don't have a rush to chase, uh, you're not going to enjoy it so much. You know, when you talk with homeless people and share cigarettes with them, you hear their story a little bit and where they come from, and they're just like that. They've just been chasing the rush and fell off the deep end.
I like that. I mean, who gets to get played on the radio, you know? Or even get paid to do something that they love, you know? Not very many people can say that. And so it's a quality that makes you stick out. How are you hoping to follow the folk tradition, and how do you want to build on it? You know, like who have been your inspirations? Who do you listen to? Who has, I don't know, paved the way for the Will Collins that we all know and love? And what are you bringing to the table that nobody has? What makes you stick out?
You know, I always like answering that because one of the coolest things, even though folk music is very regurgitated, but the coolest thing about it is exploring it, seeing where it comes from. Because I've listened to guys from the 1920s, and it's like, you know, this fun jazz music almost like Charlie Poole. And then it goes into this like deep stuff where it's about like cowboys and stuff in the 30s and being homeless. And then it gets into social stuff later, but the dude that did it for me the most was probably Townes Van Zandt. The way he could be so personal, deep, dark, and bring you somewhere where it's like, it's sad, but it's also melancholy-ish, where it's like, you relate on it in a little bit. And I wanted to do that. Then it was people like Justin Townes Earl, who had some of the most beautiful writing I've ever experienced. But also, he had the lifestyle. This dude, you know, was doing cocaine all the time. This dude was getting drunk, alive, and still performing like, what the fuck, you know? Because I fell off the deep end, but I made it back. That's the problem. But it's like, the one thing is writing. I always wanted to be smart, and I always viewed writing as smart. And all these people were doing it so well, and I'm like, this is the life I want. I never cared about, like, being a superstar, but it would be nice to be, like, a local legend, you know? Like them. Because, man, I love talking about that stuff. I love talking about, like, social issues. I love talking about being, like, what we need to do. But also, I like writing a damn good song.
All right, everyone. That wraps up episode 2 of Two Artists podcast. We had Will Collins on. He's the man and very personable. Go listen to his music. And if you're an artist of any medium, if you're an actor, if you are a model, a design, you know, whatever it is, contact me. And as you saw in this video, or if you're listening, this was just put together through Instagram DMs. So yeah, if you're a director, things like that, visual artist, musician, obviously, we'd love to hear your story, hear about your process, because that's just as interesting, if not more interesting and informative than the art form itself. So thank you for listening. Share with friends, share with artists you know, and we'll catch you next time.